ready to go. You're weird in tears, too near and too far away. He said, so bad, when home stayed in bed all day. T-shirt, fish dirt, always love the one you hold. It's a crack on back, yeah, I'm standing on the rooftop shouting, baby, I'm ready to go. I'm back, I'm ready to go. From the rooftop shouting, it's a crack on back, yeah, I'm standing on the rooftop shouting, baby, I'm ready to go. I'm back, I'm ready to go. From the rooftop shout it out, shout it out.
Yay!
You sleep too deep. 1 week is another one. Big mouth, drop out.
She talking about you and she said big mouth.
That's me all day.
I'm assuming this is a she. Sounds like a she, right? Republic?
These days, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've listened to a song and I'm like, I think it's a dude or a girl, and it's opposite. You know who one was? Because I guess there's this famous dude, Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
I know the name. That's all I can
Right,
tell you.
right.
I don't know.
So-
I wouldn't know him if he punched me in the face.
I'm listening to this song and I'm like, man, she sounds good. Who is this?
Really?
And then the kids, oh, it's Ed Sheeran or whatever. How do you not know? I'm like, well,
You know who's up on all that is Uncle Rico, who will be here tomorrow night. We got Uncle Rico's spot tomorrow. Before I even tell you what's going on tonight, let me tell you what's going on tomorrow night. All right?
what's going on tomorrow night?
Uncle Rico, who single-handedly reduced the price of eggs by 75% last week.
Might have to go into hiding.
Yeah. Tom Corrin. Tom Corrin was the Tampa Bay, and I don't know the station, ABC, NBC, something. He was the sports director for years, covering Tampa Bay sports. Rays, Lightning, Bucks, Yankees. So we got him. We got Nick the Flick sitting in your seat tomorrow night.
Man, I wish I could be here. I love Nick the Flick, and I get excited when he's on.
And we got Bucky Dent tomorrow night.
That was awesome.
Yes. Bucky Dent tomorrow night.
You did it. You did it. You even surprise me sometimes, man.
Tonight,
What do we have tonight?
Evan Longoria, Longo. I just got off the phone with one of our guys and like, oh my God, I can't believe you got Longo on tonight. I'm tuning in.
Yes.
I'm like, what do you mean? You don't tune in the rest of the time?
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
a lot of people in South Florida excited right now.
Yeah, this is like Florida spring show. This Florida opening day is what we got going on because we go from, and I don't think Evan has the title of Mr. Ray, and I don't even know if he considers himself Mr. Ray because he played a long time in other places also. A fascinating career. We only got a couple of minutes with him, so we'll get into that. But we got Mr. Marlin.
That's that guy.
Jeff Conine.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. 2-time World Series. Won the series, dipped out of Dodge,
Yes.
and then got back, and they won the series again.
Was it because of him the whole time?
And that's the thing with Evan also is he my question for him is he accomplished so much in 2008. I mean, from debut, Rookie of the Year, All-Star, World Series, and then it was 15 years, and he got back. But I bet you he got some satisfaction because when he got back to the World Series in his final year, he was with the. Let me get the show card off here. He was with the Diamondbacks,
Right.
and they knocked the Phillies out. So that might have been his revenge.
It always comes back.
It's gotta come back. And we got MJ Ballinger tonight, who currently plays for the FAU Owls baseball team later on in the show. and they rock also. I don't know. They may end up being the best of the three teams.
At the end of the year?
Marlins. I mean, look, we know where the Marlins are going to end up with or without Mr. Marlin cheering for them.
Yeah.
The Rays are a mystery. I don't know how they're going to do, but
I have some questions definitely about the Rays for Mr. Longo.
all right. So look, let's not mess around. All right. We got, let me just give you a little bit of info. All right. Long Beach State, 2005 Bay Area Cape Cod League MVP, 2006 Big West Conference Co-Player of the Year, first round draft pick, made his major league debut in 08, All-Star, Rookie of the Year, went to the World Series where they fell short to the Phillies, 3 Gold Gloves. He holds endless Rays records, and he's busy. I mean, he's literally in the car line right now picking his kids up. Evan Longoria, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not that busy. I'm just sitting waiting. But yeah, we keep it pretty busy with 3 kids.
You got boys, girls, or a mixture?
A mixture. I'm picking up my boy right now. He's in the middle. We have 2 girls and a boy in the middle.
Okay. So this is, I can learn a lot from you, but I can teach you one thing. I volunteered to drop off in the morning. I've never picked up, so I don't have to sit in the long car line. I just get my ass up early. I drop her off, and then it's somebody else's problem at the end of the day.
Yeah. I actually do both, but it's good because I get to golf in between, and the golf course is up this way, so it's kind of my excuse. I drop them on the way, I keep going, and then I pick them up on the way home.
Well, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And you are, and we, Junior and myself were debating this. You're officially retired at this point, correct?
No.
Basically, I mean, it would take a lot to get me off the couch at this point because I'm enjoying playing golf.
All right. Good.
All right. So
Golf is fun.
let's just say if the Rays are in the hunt and something happens, an injury or a need needs to be filled, what would it take
Yeah.
for you to entertain an offer?
A lot.
Somebody's got to pick his
A
kids
lot.
up first.
I'm
So the Rays
old.
would have
I'm
to pick
old,
his
guys.
kids up
I'm
first.
old. You guys are forgetting that. I mean, I was a good player for a long time, but I'm old now. You know, I enjoyed my role in 2023 with the Diamondbacks, and like I was watching a bit of the show as I was waiting, and it was it seemed like forever to get back to the World Series, but my role and what I did for that team is kind of what I'm best at now is mentoring and helping the young kids kind of get better and understand their strengths, and so if I was ever to take another role, that would kind of be the role that I would fit in.
What was there some sort of extra satisfaction knowing that you guys knocked the Phillies off in Arizona, since the Phillies ended your World Series dreams in 08? Or is it kind of irrelevant?
I mean, yes and no. It's like it was so long in between. Completely different team. But I got a lot of. I mean, obviously the fans never forget, right? So
Yeah.
there was fans that were reminded me constantly when we were in Philly about my loss in 2008. So that sting never goes away. But yeah, it was definitely satisfying, especially having to go back there and win 2 games. Like, I don't think anybody believed that we were going to be able to do that. So, and like I said, I didn't do a whole lot, but I was there. I was a part of it, and the team kind of pulled through. And I mean, anytime you can continue to advance, it's super special. But it was a little bit more being able to go back there and accomplish that.
They were exciting games. I flew out to Phoenix. I'm in Florida. I'm on the East Coast of Florida, and I flew because I root for the Phillies these days. So I flew out for that Diamondbacks Phillies NLCS series, and the place was rocking.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the loudest stadium I think I've ever been in.
Yeah. They were well played baseball games too, man. Really well played baseball games. Both teams super athletic. I mean, both 2 different ends of the spectrum. The Phillies in that year had. I mean, still they're very established, very veteran team. A lot of great players, and the Diamondbacks there was a lot of question marks, I think, still about who was going to do what, and would they be able to kind of perform on that stage. So it was good to see some guys kind of come out of their shells in that series.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Junior with some questions here in a second, but I have to ask you this first because this is in the chat right now. People are asking this. I don't know if you can see the chat where you're at, but
I can't.
was this real? Did this really happen?
Evan, there's been a lot of changes this offseason for your team. How do you feel your chances are in the AL East?
Or was this set up
I mean,
somehow?
I love our chances. You know, it's been
This is
keep it on the field.
this is the thing that I'm most famous for. I accomplished a lot in my career. This is the thing that people, the first thing that people always ask me about. So most people, I just kind of give them a little wink and say, yeah, it was 100% real. So we'll keep it
We'll
like
leave it
that.
at that. All right, I
I
got
do
it.
gotta ask.
And that question that literally popped up. I already had
Yeah.
that pulled, but it popped up. And you saved
Yeah.
the reporter's life.
my,
Yeah,
my thing is, did you hear the ball? Like what? How'd you know to turn around?
you heard the ball in the clip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. It's
not
just
answering it.
intuition,
That's
baseball
amazing. No,
intuition.
How many times did you have to practice that in spring training to get that down?
I practiced it one time.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave it at that. I'm
I've
not
been
going to go
catching
on
the ball my
anymore.
whole life, so it comes naturally, I guess.
That's awesome. Golden. Forget the gold glove. He's just got gold hands, gold reflexes. Should have been a
Insane.
goalie in hockey.
insane. Like no wonder you had a successful life.
Exactly.
No, so Longo, I got a question. The Rays have proven to do well under adversity. You had the 2020 COVID season where I think they won like 66% of the games, killed it in the playoffs, on the way to the World Series, and then dealt with no spring training home a few years ago. Started out the season 13-0, went on to win 99 games. This year without the Trop, what can we expect from the Rays?
Yeah, I mean it's obviously a tough situation. I just was looking through my Instagram feed earlier today and seeing how they have Steinbrenner kind of all, they turned it over and made it look like the Rays home now. And um, I'm sure that there's a lot of appreciation for the Yankees organization and them being able to kind of come in. And I was actually there last summer. I was actually there just after the hurricane. So I kind of saw the destruction. I still have my home in St. Pete. And so we're dealing with that as well. But I had talked to Eric Neander at the time, and it was kind of up in the air. They didn't really know what they were going to do, and I mean, the the place they're in now was kind of the obvious answer, but obviously the city of St. Petersburg wanted them to stay in St. Pete and them not to lose the fan base there or not have to make them go over the bridge. But that's the constant battle between St. Pete and Tampa is where should the team be? What's the best place for them to be? But this year will be um, you know maybe a bit eye opening for them. In terms of the fan support in Tampa, we'll see kind of where that lies. I read a couple of things about how the average ticket prices for the A's and the Rays are like the highest of anybody, and that's probably because the stadiums are smaller and there'll be less fans in the stands. But I think we'll be pretty surprised at the fan support. I think that the stadium will be full a lot. One, because it's smaller, but two, because I think it's just an exciting and different experience, to see a regular season game in a spring training facility. But they're going to go out there and play baseball no matter what. They're dealing with more adversity and not having McClanahan to start the year.
Right.
Hopefully he's back and hopefully he's healthy because pitching and defense is what's going to get you there. So they're going to have to deal with a bit there, but somehow Eric and company always find a way to get it done and win games, and so hopefully the fans are supportive of that. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. I always follow them, so.
Awesome.
How would you feel? We ran this. We had Matt Joyce on a week or two ago, and he's doing post game for Rays now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And imagine if it came down to one team wins the division, the other wins the wild card. They meet in the ALCS, and it's the Yankees and the Rays. And Game 7 is at Steinbrenner Field, and the Rays are hosting it. How wild would that be?
I mean, it's a very real possibility, right? Like, I don't think anybody at the beginning of the season does ever puts the Rays there just because it's like, I don't know. They've always been the kind of the little brother of the division, and the Red Sox have really bulked up their rotation. They added Bregman, obviously, so there's a lot that they've done, and I think maybe they're getting slept on a bit, but it's nothing that the Rays, from the time that I was there, it's nothing that they haven't dealt with. They've always kind of, been, looked beyond, and the big bad AL East has always been, kind of the grinder in terms of the toughest divisions in baseball. But they figured out how to win, and that would be, it would be something crazy to see. I mean, I'm rooting for them to be there, obviously, but all of those years that I was in Tampa, not all of them, but the early years especially, it was, the Trop was, 50% the by Yankees fans, or so it's nothing they're not accustomed to.
So I got a question, and it's more for like inspiration to the younger people coming up.
Your feed turned sideways, Evan. We're cool with it, but you're coming in from the side right now. I don't know if you turned your phone or something.
But hey, we could do it too.
Yeah, we can turn sideways. We're good with it. We're good with it.
So I got a question, and it's really for inspiring the younger kids playing ball right now. If I'm not mistaken, you didn't get the scholarship out of high school. Is that correct? To go play?
Sorry, I've lost my audio completely. Let me try and reboot it.
All right. We'll give him a minute to reboot and see if we can get him back in. Gotta ask him about playing in San Fran too for a minute, right? So there we go. Yep, he's back. There you go. You were sideways. It was like a Saturday Night Live sort of thing. You came in from the side, yeah. Right. That's how he caught the ball, because he can see out of all.
I don't know why.
Can you hear us?
I've lost the audio completely, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, that's all right. That's all right. Look, we appreciate the time that you took. Maybe we can do this again in the future, and we appreciate you taking the time tonight. And
under better circumstances. I'm sorry, I'm having to put my ear up to the thing, but yeah, I would love to do it again. Thank you guys for having me on, and next time when I'm at home and I can get on my iPad, we can chop it up again. But again, thanks for having me on.
We appreciate it. Thank you. The great Evan Longoria.
I had so many
I know we got a lot of stuff here. We had a lot of stuff here, but that was and look, there's all kinds of stuff in the chat right here too, with questions. And Penguin AZ chiming in. Penguin AZ was answer backs. He was all over those answer back teams.
Damn.
Penguin AZ was at the games with me. Me, the Penguin AZ, and Play Action Reel. We went out there.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I can't. We got to get him back on.
No, he said he'll come back on, and he's a great dude. And that's the amazing thing about for fans, by fans. Mm-hmm. I can name one guest that we've had so far, and I'm not going to name him.
Okay.
One guest so far that I thought was a creep. Everybody else has been fabulous.
What was his name?
Let's just say it was nasty, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. And the producer knows. Me and the producer goof about it all the time. But anyway. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's we kicked off Super Bowl week with him. And I was like, oh God, it can only get uphill from here. But no, and we had I didn't even get to play his theme song. We did a lot of research, and we had Rush. We had Rush in here for him.
Damn.
Because we think he's a big Rush fan, because he's a big drummer. At the Trop drum set. Really? Could you imagine being his teammate and how much he would give you a headache if he's in there banging on them drums before the games? Oh my goodness. But that's all right, guys. So there you go. You got and we got Evan Longoria coming up. We're not done. We're not close to done. Imagine if we had like a crappy, lousy producer. It's like you got Evan Longoria today, and that's it. No, we got 30 pounds of baseball crammed in a 5-pound bag tonight. That's right.
Sprinkle it.
Mr. Marlin. Hey, let me give you a couple things that happened today, right?
Yep.
So this was sort of controversial a few weeks ago, but Alec Bergman, it was announced, will play third base for the Red Sox, and Devers is the DH. All right? Austin Hayes, one of your guys, right?
Yep.
Starting the season on the 10-day IL. It's not the DL, because that is a word that you're not allowed to say anymore.
It's frowned upon.
Frowned upon. So he's on the injured list. The Marlins acquired Tyler Phillips from the Phillies. And the other thing was the Rays host the Rockies to start off the season on Friday, I believe, at Steinbrenner Field.
We should have been out there.
We should have been where? So that's not running field?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool.
Dude, the Bananas just played. So the Bananas filled up Raymond James Stadium last week. Okay?
You just made me think of a question I had for.
I had it, but if it was going to go there. So, like, Tampa can draw fans. St. Pete is a pain in the rear end to get to, bro.
Well, it made me think about it, right? Because
and the Trop is a dump on top of that. So, pain in the ass to get there, and it's a dump. At least, like, with Marlin Stadium for a lot of people, it's a pain in the ass to get to.
Right.
When you get there, it's a beautiful stadium. Now, it has no baseball feel at all. It feels like
Miami,
an Inter Miami soccer game, or more like a Pitbull concert, or like a Miami Sound Machine, like Gloria Estefan. Like what?
That don't sound bad.
Yeah, but what you get? No, but you're looking for that. Take me out to the ball game. You're not looking for.
That's why I was going to ask you, because like down here, if they would have took Marlin Stadium and put it in Palm Beach County, guaranteed the numbers would be up.
If they would have put it right next to Dolphin Stadium, the numbers would have been good, because Dolphin Stadium is easy to get to. It's easy to get in of, easy to get out of.
They should have made that work. Look, if you can have races in the parking lot, we can play baseball out there.
Yeah, I mean, what did they do with the land that Calder was on? Calder was right next to that. The racetrack is closed down. They could have put the stadium right there.
Yeah.
And now in Miami, they thought that they were going to draw the Hispanic community out to Marlins games by putting it down there in Little Havana, and they're not drawing anybody.
Well, you got to put a
no
product
vibe
out there worth watching.
Yeah, but I get it from the business aspect. If you're not making any money, you can't spend any money. But there's so many things that we don't know with the revenue share and how much money did they get, and they're not investing it back in. And and that's why I give a guy like I like Derek Jeter. I know Derek Jeter. Like, I'm not name dropping, but literally, I know Derek Jeter. I can pull pictures of me and Jeter if they work, sort of like me and Bernstein last night. But I don't know that Jeter was a great thing that really happened to the Marlins when he went in there. He kind of went in, shook things up, changed the look of the stadium, made it sort of look like Yankee Stadium, ripped out all that lime green padding on the walls that they had and turned everything sort of Yankee blue. He got rid of that home run sculpture, which was hideous and horrible. It's outside the stadium now, in the street. But it's just not a good... It's just not a good place. And the guy, I give credit to his Mattingly, because Mattingly managed there for 5, 6, 7 years. Yeah. And he took him to the postseason via the COVID season. He got him into the postseason. And they, they did have, it's bad luck when your star pitcher, it could be one of the greatest pitchers in the history of baseball, cokes up and takes his boat out for a joyride and decapitates himself. That wasn't a good thing for the Marlins.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And then, I don't understand, like, guys like Jeter and his whole team. Jeter didn't buy the team. He bought a minority part. Right. He was the face because he was Jeter. Yeah. But then the first thing you do is you get rid of your star player, Giancarlo Stanton. And then you get rid of Yelich. And so you basically tore apart a team that had the shot to go somewhere.
Right.
And I think the only way the Marlins are ever going to compete again, it's got to be homegrown. And it's going to have to be a surprise. Like what I want to ask Jeff Conine tonight is the 97 World Series for the Florida Marlins was purchased. That was flat out. Sheffield, Alou, Al Leiter, Kevin Brown, Bobby Bonilla, Rob Nen. So the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So that was World Series or bust for that team. The 03 team came out of nowhere. I mean, they fired Jeff Torborg, however you say his name. Yeah, like April, May, and they brought back Jack McKeon. Nobody was expecting anything. Exactly. Rest in peace, Jose Fernandez, for sure.
That was such a shame. Like,
no, that was terrible. That was so sad.
What else are you supposed to do in Miami when you got money? Oh, you know what you need to do? Have a captain.
Like
right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Guys, look, I get it. You're in Miami. I get it. You have tons of money. Get a driver. Get a captain. Be safe.
I don't see Messi taking his boat out and decapitating anybody, or I don't see, Tyreek gets arrested pulling into the stadium, so. But we'll just leave that at that.
Yeah, he's a character.
Tyreek's a character. I'm not saying he was. I don't think Tyreek was really guilty of anything other than being an a-hole that day and just being like full of himself. That's all.
He was Tyreek.
Yeah, I don't dislike Tyreek. I just think he could make better decisions, and he might not have ended up in handcuffs on the side of the road before the season kicked off.
You know what I love though? Like,
Tell me.
I seen that he just put a post out.
Oh, he's having another 12 kids?
Another kid, right?
That's what he needs.
But how can his woman be okay with, like, he just fathered a kid a few months ago? Like, and you're gonna, like, she's got to know she's a joke, right?
I don't know, bro. Look, what people do. People have the prerogative to live their life however they want to. And one thing that I learned is just because I disagree with the way you live your life doesn't make me right and you wrong.
But is money worth like just knowing that
money makes a lot of things better and it makes a lot of things easier. I've had money. I've had no money. I prefer having money. Everything is easier when you stub your toe and you have money. It's not as bad as stubbing your toe when you have no money.
Just
money makes things easier. That's all. If
my wife got pregnant by another dude,
well, look,
and she was a billionaire.
Well, your wife has money. We know that. You know that, and I know that. Now the whole world knows it. But yeah, your wife has money. You ain't got no money, but your wife's got the money.
She was like, I think I don't know. I don't think I can stay around. But anyways,
what day do you get your allowance every week?
Fridays.
Every
other Friday.
Every other Friday.
Yeah,
so this weekend you'll be in Alabama on Friday. Does that mean you get no allowance?
No allowance. No allowance.
See, that's the perfect place to give you an allowance, because what the hell are you going to do in Alabama? What kind of trouble are you going to get in Alabama?
Nothing.
All right. So we move on. Okay.
Yeah.
From Tampa, who's come close so many times, to a team that got it done twice.
Oh, maybe they were missing a player.
But for all those other seasons?
Yes.
Well, it's not that they're missing the players. It's that they kicked all the players out. But man, this is super exciting for South Florida right here. And Longo was fantastic. But you're talking about a guy who was picked up by the Florida Marlins in the expansion draft. I believe it's called the expansion draft. And in his very first game, in the team's very first game in existence, he went 4 for 4.
I just want to know what it feels like to be on that team opening day.
And to be called Mr. Marlin.
You own the team.
They don't call Derek Jeter Mr. Yankee.
No.
Captain, but not Mr. Yankee. It is our honor and privilege, I think, to have Mr. Marlin, to have Jeff Conine. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I got to be honest, Jeff, you age gracefully, my man, because I can still see that face with a Marlin hat on, and it looks the same.
I appreciate it, man. Except for this up here, a little less of it and a lot lighter color. That's for sure.
That's why I wear a hat.
All right, hey, let me ask you. We both have a couple questions for you, and we know your time is limited, so we appreciate you jumping on tonight. You get paid. We noticed. Look, we followed you because we're South Florida guys. I moved down here in 97. 97, yes. I moved down here in the spring of that year. You, Moises Alou, that whole team. And I just thought, I grew up a Yankee fan. And I said, you know what? I'm going to root for the hometown team. And then you guys go on and win the World Series. I'm like, I must be the gift right here.
You're the good luck charm.
I'm the good luck charm. Then you guys, they dismantle the team. Everybody goes their separate ways. You make it back in 2003 and you win again. My question is,
maybe I'm the good luck charm.
Yes, exactly. I was here the whole time and things went sideways. 97 seemed to be like a purchase. Like you went out and got all these great players from Bonilla to Sheffield to, Alou to Leiter to Brown to Nen to on and on and on and on and on. I think you guys, Pudge was 2003.
2003. Oh, yeah.
You guys were expected to win. I think you guys expected to win. 2003 came out of nowhere. As a Marlin fan in 97, it was stressful, especially in the postseason. I felt like you could bring Rob Nen in. I remember a game in Cleveland. I think it was snowing that you guys played in, and it was like 19-18 was the final score. Seems like you could bring Nen in with a 10-run lead in the ninth, and he'd give up 9 runs and load the bases. And which season was more fun? Which title was more fun? Is one different than the other, or were they both the same?
No, they're much different. For one, on the 97 team, I was there the whole year from start to finish. So, And you are correct. What Dave Dombrowski was given a directive that offseason to put together a World Series caliber team, and he did just that. And us in the clubhouse, we knew it right away when we got to spring training. We knew we had something special. And I think that spring we went like 25-6 or something crazy like that. Usually the best teams don't do that great in spring training. It's like a 500 record and maybe even below. And the teams that aren't supposed to do so great during the season do great in spring training. But we dirt rolled everybody in spring training. We knew that we had something special going on. Jim Leland, obviously a Hall of Famer now, was our leader. And just going into that season, we had so much confidence in ourselves. We didn't overtake the Braves as far as division is concerned, but we played the best against the best teams. We beat the head-to-head with the Yankees that year, with the Orioles, with the Braves. We beat all the best teams. So 03 was quite a different team. Obviously, I didn't get there till September 1st, basically, and we gelled very quickly. But it was the most fun I've ever had in a baseball field. That team was just a joy to be around. Laughter all the time in the dugout, guys cracking jokes all the time. Our bench was, Jack McKeon ran his team like an American League team. He threw the same 8 guys out there every single night. It was like no changes in the lineup. He just went with what he thought was the best, and that's what he stuck with. And our bench guys didn't get a whole lot of playing time, but they played an immense role in the attitude and the culture of our dugout and that clubhouse. And like I said, we had a blast in 2003. We did something that nobody expected us to do, but when you look at that roster and that team, we were pretty damn good.
It was really good. It was a lot of fun. And I got 2 clips, and I'm going to turn the questions over to Junior. I got 2 clips. One is from 97, and this is you in the NLDS against Greg Maddux.
Swinging and hitting it up the middle. It takes a big hop off the mound into center field.
So what I want to point out here is not the hit, speed.
And taking second on the play is Conine. It's 2-1 Marlins.
Now I want to go to 03. And I want to ask you, if you still had that speed at this point,
out into left field, breaking in Conine.
Could you have caught that ball and saved Pudge?
Here's the throw to the plate.
Possible concussion.
Well, the first one was that was good base running. You're taught to, if that ball is in the air and going to miss a cutoff man, you just keep right on running. So I think anybody probably could have got to second base. And the fly ball, he took a big swing. So I kind of stepped back. I thought it was hit much better than it was. And then charging in on that ball, it seemed like I was running for 100 yards. And all this stuff's going through in my mind. I'm like, should I try and dive for this ball? Should I try and catch it? I got to catch it. It's the last out. No, that guy's going to score. Oh, crap. I'm not going to be able to catch it. If I dive for it, it might get by me. If it gets by me, that guy's going to go to second base. That's the go-ahead run. I can't do that. So I finally settled on, I'm going to try to field it as best I can and give a good throw to my cutoff man and do my job. And it was a very tricky hop on the side. So that was probably the toughest part of the play by far. And when I got to my release point, I looked up and I saw where JT Snow was. And I'm like, that's it? I'm like, holy crap. And then I saw the trajectory of the ball and I knew there was going to be a collision at that point. Then everything just kind of went in slow motion. And, I saw the hop and I saw the collision, and then everything sped back up to real time and pandemonium ensued.
For me, and I grew up with a lot of following the Yankees. I grew up with a lot of big moments. That to me is the most memorable play I've ever seen for you. And that closed out the divisional series. And then you guys went on from there. But just that whole, you with the throw, with Pudge taking the hit and holding on to the ball. I mean, that was, you can't dream up excitement like that.
And I think to this day, it's still the only playoff series to end with a play at the plate.
That's so freaking awesome. That's awesome. And there's a question, Junior. There's one question from the chat. All right, that Mike Nelson wants to know: in 03, which would you say was the bigger moment? Robbing the home run in Game 3 or the throw in Game 4?
I gotta say the throw in Game 4. Like I said, it's a game ending and a series ending play at the plate just doesn't get any bigger than that. But as an outfielder, to rob a home run is got to be the most exciting play that you can do as an outfielder. That was awesome.
Go ahead, June.
No, listen, Jeff. Us common folk, we always common folk. we always look for the edge, right? And when it comes to talent, the Conine family seems to gobble it all up, right? Your father was an Olympian, correct?
Yeah, Olympic wrestler, correct.
That is awesome. So it all goes into like one thing, but my question is, how did you feel growing up and your dad was an Olympian, like wrestler? Like, did that make you just walk around with a little bit more swagger from day to day?
He set he was a great role model for me, especially as far as my athletic career is concerned, because obviously when he was a wrestler, I was a baby and I didn't really know any of that. But from there, he continued on. He was a competitive handball player. He's a national championship handball player. He's a national championship racquetball player. So he got me into racquetball at an early age and just taught me how to work hard. And his work ethic was second to none. He'd be up in that weight room and on the machines for hours on end. And I just thought, if my dad can do it, I got to be able to do that too. So I took that with me to my career. And although I might not have been as talented as a lot of the guys that I played against or with, I felt that I could outwork all of them. So that was my, that was my feather in my cap, is that my work ethic was something that nobody could deny.
Well, I would say that you ended up a little bit better than the credit you gave yourself, because let me tell you, sir, I know a lot of people flying in for Sunday's game just to get your bobblehead.
That's
All
cool.
right, so I think you did a lot more than what you say.
And your son.
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Yeah. And now you have your son. All right, that's incredible. Talented family. But as a father myself, how does it feel to watch your son out there?
The level of being proud is can't be measured, but also nerve-wracking as hell. I was way more nerve-wracking than I was playing. I don't know how my parents actually felt. I know my mom actually literally couldn't watch anytime I got up to bat. She just turned her head away or cover her face if she's watching on TV. I'm not that bad, but I know exactly what he's going through. I know his mental prep going up to the plate. I know what he's going through as pitches come in. So I'm living the at bat with him, and I'm just white knuckling it the whole time. But couldn't be more proud. The kid, he works as hard as anybody I've ever known. Like, he is on 24/7. His diet and his stretching and yoga and working out and baseball activities is just I kind of wish, well, he got the work ethic from me, I hope, but he is taking it to another level, and he's deserved of everything he's gotten so far.
And are you there tomorrow for opening day?
Of course.
Absolutely.
You think Mr. Marlin's going to miss opening day?
No,
Right.
you have to hang out all weekend. I'm not sure where you live these days, and that's none of our business, but you got to be in town all weekend. You get your bobblehead. You got here's another question, and I know what this question is, and you probably do too, but what was it like in '97 in the NLCS having Eric Gregg being the home plate umpire? Did you guys give him a gift? Because that was a really, really, really big strike zone that Levon had that day.
Well, Greg Maddux had it too, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
And he could throw, he could hit a dime from anywhere he wanted to on the mound. So we had our work cut out for us. Yeah, it was generous, to say the least. I just remember the last strike being called to Fred McGriff. It was a curveball that landed well outside, and Charles Johnson had gone to a knee to throw it back to Levon, and all of a sudden he hears strike three called. So he jumped up. Wow. At the same time he was about to throw it back. But probably the only time in I can remember in playoff baseball that an umpire was part of the post-game press conference, because the questioning of the strike zone was it was something else, I'll tell you that.
Look, as a guy rooting for the Marlins that day, I had no problem with the strike zone at all, because Levon definitely, I think he had 16 strikeouts, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, 15-9, 15 with 24 strikeouts in that game.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So we followed a little bit of your trajectory. Ooh. I know sometimes I have problems with words. I know it's the old timers setting in. you were drafted by KC. Then the Marlins got you in the expansion draft. Yes. Then you went to Baltimore, back to the Marlins, back to Baltimore, back to KC. You found a few places that you like to play, and obviously the teams liked having you because they kept bringing you back in.
Yeah, 3 teams twice, which was something else. Kansas City to start with, Marlins, then back to Kansas City. Then I got traded to Baltimore, came back to the Marlins, then went back to Baltimore, and then ended up with a slew of 4 different teams in my last 2 years. So, but you know what? And I try to teach this to Griffin and anybody that I talk to is to be a good teammate, and to be someone you can rely on that clubhouse. I think definitely put some longevity in my career. Like you said, they liked having me around, and I did well enough to warrant that on the baseball field. Hey, Lucy, the dog. I'm on the golf course, so
It's all good.
my dog's.
Everybody we talk to is on the golf course.
I know. We just had Evan Longoria. He was on his way back from the golf course.
Yeah, I'm actually literally looking at the golf course right now. But yeah, it's it's all about being a good teammate. And when people ask me what I miss most about the game, yeah, I miss competing, but I miss the guys and I miss the clubhouse, and that was moments I'll cherish forever.
What?
Well,
What?
not-
Go
I was
ahead.
saying, when I see that you skipped around and then went back, something that tells me is that you add value, regardless of on the field mentorship, whatever it is, that you add value and you have character. So that is awesome to me. I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
What's the outlook for the team this year? I mean, you're closer than we are because your son's playing on it.
Well, I actually work for the team as well, so.
Okay. All right. And I'm not going to ask, are you glad that Derek Jeter's gone? Because I know Derek Jeter came in and threw all the old people out and did all his stuff. The home run statue had to go. I mean, that thing was hideous. But anyway, enough with Jeter. What's the outlook for the team this year? What's the expectation?
We're young. Where everybody knows we're on a rebuilding program. Peter Bendix came in last year and kind of retooled the entire organization from top to bottom. So we're instituting all these new training techniques and different roles of people throughout the organization. So we trying to get a blueprint going, like back in the Cardinal days when the Cardinals got a guy in that was from their system that got to the big leagues. They knew exactly what they were getting because they had a blueprint in order that from A ball all the way up to AAA, everyone knew exactly what they were expected to do and expected to act and expected to play. So we're in the process of doing that right now. We've got obviously a lot of great talent. We've had a phenomenal couple years of drafts, and it's going to take time. And all that means for this year is we're not looking to win the division. We're looking to be competitive, and that's about all we can ask for these kids.
Can the team sustain bringing these guys up and then having them develop and then hanging on to them? I mean, is attendance still seems to be an issue, but it's Florida. People show up for the big events, and it's hard to get them to show up on a daily basis. Can it be sustained, and can the team be kept together as it grows, or does that?
Well, that's hopefully what they're trying to build is a sustainable model of getting guys through the system and then being able to keep them once they get here. So time will tell. As you know, it's a tough market in South Florida. People love winter, and we haven't won in a while. So, we made the playoffs 2 years ago, which was awesome, and we had a great run then. And attendance was up that year because we made the playoffs. So, hopefully, this can be a regular event, winning and getting to the postseason.
So from a fan standpoint, like their thing is, what I always hear is they don't want to show up because of the product on the field, but on the inside, like, can we really tell the fans, like, look, if you show up, the product's going to get better?
Absolutely. That's absolutely
right.
And these kids, they get out there, and I call them kids because I'm old. But these kids get out there and they play 100% all the time. They're not worried about if the fans don't show up or not. They're out there to give 100% of their time. And I always people say about the product on the field, yeah, but it is still Major League Baseball, and it's still probably the cheapest ticket you're going to get in a major sport in South Florida. And to be able to take your family out to a game, your kids out to a game, and sit there and have them as a captive audience for a couple hours, there's nothing better than baseball. And that's how I like to look at it. Is it's an enjoyment, it's entertainment, and yeah, of course, we want to win and be passionate as fans, but at the same time, you're looking at big league baseball.
It's a beautiful stadium, too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to get to for some people, but it's a beautiful stadium. One last question from the chat is, again, Mike, who's a big Marlins fan.
Yeah.
Which Marlins logo is the best? He wants to know.
I mean, come on, I'm biased, man. We had 2 World Series championships with the old fish, so
Yeah.
the old teal. And it was, we had our 30th anniversary a couple seasons ago, and we wore the old teal pinstripes every Friday home game, and it was wildly accepted by the fans. They love that teal uniform, and it's always nice to see the old clips with even the teal helmets, which I thought were a little crazy at the time. But everybody loves the old fish logo.
Jeff, I can't thank you enough. We look, we're fans. We're not journalists. We're learning.
Mr.
Chris Visser
Marlin.
is bringing us along, but we look at this from the fans' perspective, and we try to take just normal guys like us and get them in the dugout, get them in the locker room, put them in the huddle so that they can experience. And that's why we go to the chat and some of these questions. But it's rare that I get super oh my God, yes. And that's how it was with you. And we appreciate you taking time, and we hope that sometime in the future, maybe you'll come back and visit us again. And
absolutely,
great you guys
enjoy talking to you guys.
And we'll be there for our Mr. Marlin bobbleheads.
Yeah,
this
we'll be
weekend.
there.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we
Mr. Marlin.
definitely
Nice.
will.
Nice.
Good luck
It's
to your
just-
son this season.
Appreciate
and
it.
to the team. And I lived on a golf course, so make sure you duck every once in a while and clean your pool every day, because I used to get a collection of golf balls when I lived on
I did too. I enjoyed the donations.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mr. Marlin, Jeff Conine, 2-time World Series champion. Thank you so much, Jeff. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got Troy West joining us. So everybody, just sit tight, and
Thank
we'll
you,
be back
Jeff,
right after this.
Mr.
Thank
Marlin.
you. Thank you, Jeff.
You got it, guys.
All the small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one lift, your ride, best trip. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me late night, come home, work sucks, I know. She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares.
How cool is our friggin' job, Troy?
You can't beat that, man. I remember Mr. Marlin. Absolutely. It's the good old days of the Marlins. I mean, you forget they won a world championship.
They won
you
2 of them.
I know. Unbelievable. Jack McKeon's what got me smoking cigars at the age of 8 years old. So,
Well, you know what? 7 years before that, you were 1. If you would have been following that team, his name's escaping me. Who was the manager? Who was the manager of the '97 Marlins? The pirate manager. Who? Leland. Yeah, Leland had you smoking cigarettes.
Jim
He was
Leland,
smoking
yep.
cigarettes in the dugout all the time.
Absolutely. Yep. Those were the good old days for the Marlins, man. I'd love to see them get back to that.
So would I. Because I love to. I grew up right outside, and this is not about me, but I grew up right outside of New York, in between New York and Philly. So where I grew up, you had to pick a team, and I picked New York, and I hated Philly, couldn't stand Philly. But then I started moving around, and I said, you know what? Let's follow the hometown team. And when I got to Miami, and I started following the Marlins in '97, and they were really good, but it was so freaking stressful, Rob Nen. Well, he just made every game interesting. You bring him in with a 10-run lead in the 9th, And then 45 minutes later, he's still out there. The bases are loaded. He's thrown 80 pitches, and it's 8-9 and a 3-2 count. And I'm like, oh. But the 03 team was so much friggin' fun. And that was really, really, really cool having Jeff Conine on with us tonight. I mean, Evan Longoria was great also.
Yes.
But that was just crazy cool, man. That's like,
it's like having Troy West on.
I was gonna say, I mean, come on, it's not even close. Actually, one of my favorite stories of all time, guys. I got to golf with the Shooter McGavin.
No way, really?
McDonald. Played around at golf with him, and took a picture with him. And everybody, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And the guy goes, "Shooter's more excited to get a picture with Troy West than Troy West is with Shooter."
That is
joking,
so cool.
but that was the best, one of the best days of my life was having a round of golf with him. But I can imagine with guys like you, I mean, when you get your cream of the crop, Mr. Marlin, on your show, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Let me go on record and say this, all right? And this, I must have said this like 45 times, like I'm bragging, but I'm totally not. I do have something to brag about. We'll get to that in a second. But I know Derek Jeter. Like if I was walking down the street, he would say, "Hey, AJ."
I've heard that tonight.
Yeah, I know. But I was more excited to talk to Jeff Conine tonight than I ever was to talk to Derek Jeter.
We live in South Florida, so everybody I see tomorrow. I interviewed Jeff Conine last night. What did you do?
We have to go. We have to go on Sunday. If you're willing to go, I'm willing to go.
Yeah. Mike wants to go. Let's do it.
Where is Mike? Isn't Mike in Jersey?
No, he's flying down for that game. He's coming.
All right.
To get the
Yeah. All right.
bobblehead.
I'm in. So yeah, my weekend off turns out to me and Nick the Flick at Inter Miami till who knows what hours of the night on Saturday, and then I'll do the game with you guys on Sunday.
I could do a post game party with you.
Troy, before we talk, because I know that you're not just, we've been talking so much basketball, but Troy Wins does baseball and everything too.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, baseball is it's the sport I played. It's my passion. Unfortunately, out here in Seattle, you know, you're going 19 years in a drought. But baseball is my bread and butter, guys. I love baseball. Opening day tomorrow. Could not be more excited for it. I mean, and you've got some just in Miami, you've got probably the best pitching matchup of the day tomorrow. I mean, I can't wait to see Sandy and if he can rebound going up against Paul Skeens. I mean, that's an argument of two of the best young pitchers in the game. I mean, that's going to be a great ball game tomorrow.
And speaking of young pitchers, after Troy, we're not done with baseball. We're going to current baseball. We got MJ Ballinger from the FAU Owls baseball team, which I don't know if you follow them at all, but they're really good this year. D1 baseball team. But yeah, Skeens. I'm anxious to see Skeens, and I even already got some action in one of my I'm better with Skeens for tomorrow.
Bet the under. I mean, come on. We'll see. I would like to think that's a 2-1, 3-0. I mean, Sandy probably doesn't throw more than 4 innings tomorrow. So I'd be a little bit worried about the Marlins bullpen, but that game looks juicy for sure.
Can't Skeens just strike out 7 guys in the first inning? I mean, doesn't he have that type of ability?
You never know. You get a couple drop third strikes, right?
It's possible.
It's possible. It is possible. That's a good prop bet. Can we get him for over or under 4.5 Ks in the first inning? That might be a good prop bet for us.
I got a bunch of Skeens stuff earlier today. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll text it to you. It's irrelevant for the show right now, but so can you give us something that you like tomorrow in baseball?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to go to my hometown game tomorrow. It's a late game, 7:10, first pitch, Seattle versus the Athletics, by the way. It is no longer the Oakland Athletics. It is the Athletics or just the Athletics. But you got Logan Gilbert going up against Luis Severino. Severino had an outstanding year last year with the Mets. Logan Gilbert is Cy Young material. That totals at 7. I love the under in that game. Be a nice cold, brisk night in Seattle tomorrow. Both lineups are terrible. 2 good starting pitchers and 2 good bullpens, man. Give me the under on that game tomorrow. I love the under 7 tomorrow in that game.
You got it. Under 7. I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock that one in tonight. Oh, under 7. Why am I writing over?
Lock it in, guys. I just put it in. Just put in another one. You're getting 7.5. The Phillies head into Washington. Mackenzie Gore. I love Mackenzie Gore. This guy's primed for a breakout year. He's with the Nationals, strong left-handed pitcher. He goes up against Zach Wheeler. Obviously you're familiar with that name. 7.5, too many runs there between the Phillies and Nationals. I like the under in that game. I like a lot of unders in these first games, right? The bats are cold. They haven't seen this type of starting pitching in spring training. I like unders to start the year.
Awesome.
It makes sense too. The first 2 days, you got the best pitchers in the rotation going up. Everybody's cold. That's why you win, Troy.
The problem that can wreak havoc.
We win. That's $29 a week information I'm giving out for free here.
Dang.
The thing that can wreak havoc on your opening week and opening days, because this has happened to us a lot the last few years with the Phillies, is weather. Rain.
Weather can get you. Weather can get you. Rainouts, bullpens, games delayed, all that BS. No, weather can definitely get you. There's no doubt about it.
Man, I am excited. You've got to look, if you enjoy baseball and if you enjoy putting any action on baseball, whether it's on a sleeper or a better or props, or you're just a hardcore and you like going games on your favorite book, why are you not taking the $29 a week if you haven't already?
Yeah.
And get with a guy that's going to deliver you 60+%. I mean, do the math. If you have $10,
we try. It's better than Tesla stock right now. I'll tell you that. I mean, we try. I mean, some people got that ego. Some people like to do things on their own. We try to tell people, like, look, let us kind of like tell you, like, let us solidify. Like, if Junior's got stuff that he already likes, let us solidify it for you, right?
Exactly.
Let us solidify it for you.
And honestly, as a bettor, that's what I look for. Like when with your stuff, all I'm looking for is validation, really. So when I know that you believe in something and I believe in it, to me, that's a winner.
I hope so.
And at the end of the day,
two wrongs don't make a right either. But,
well,
but in Troy's case, we're not lumping him in with you.
No, but think about it. For less than $1 a day, you're gonna be doing it anyways.
Yeah,
it makes total sense.
And the money that you're saving now on eggs, because Uncle Rico bringing the price down to eggs, if you didn't take $1 a day, and if you are someone that likes action, or you just a flat out degenerate, if you don't take $1 a day for educated research done for you, what are you going to do with that $1 a day anyway?
No, it makes total sense.
I agree. So many people think they can look at it, look at the lines, and this makes sense, and it's just not the way it does. It's just not the way it works, guys. I mean, there's a lot of homework put into this, and we're not guessing. We're not guessing by any means.
Now, can I toot my horn for 1 minute? Because I'm not guessing either. I know I don't go into depth, but OKC last night.
I knew it. I knew
the Knicks last night. I also had Cleveland last night. I had Atlanta last night.
I did call the Heat.
You did call the Heat. Yeah, the Heat was, but again, no Curry. With Curry, they're horrible. With Curry, they win. Those are the flat out statistics that I'm sure that you would get from Troy when he broke the game down and said, look, their percentage of winning and field goals and yada, yada, yada with Curry is so much remarkably higher. I think they're in last place in all of NBA on games where Curry doesn't play.
Yep. Yeah, it's different team. He's been kind of that captain for so long. You take the captain off the roster, it's bad news. I mean, look at the Lakers without LeBron. He left for that. A couple weeks ago, we're talking about them competing with OKC. They're second in the West. You take LeBron out for a couple weeks, they're in the 5 spot. So it's amazing how much that stuff can change here week to week.
Troy, there are a lot of teams in the West falling apart down the stretch. Memphis, Denver, the Lakers. My eyes are the research on this. There's more to it, but there is no way anyone is beating OKC in the West. Period. End of story. I think Denver's the only team with a shot, but I still can't see them doing it.
I'm with you. I mean, the fact that the Rockets are sitting in that 2 spot right now is unbelievable. Tip your cap to the Rockets. I mean, what a turnaround. I mean, you go out and get a guy like Dylan Brooks, you get Van Vliet, and you're right in that 2 spot. You're 21 games over 500. Give them a lot of credit, but I'm with you. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the West has been the powerhouse for the last 25 years. and now it's just not the same. I mean, believe it or not, the power I think's moved to the East because. I mean, I don't know if the Milwaukee Bucks really have a chance if Lillard gets healthy. The injury there hurts them a lot. But the East, I mean, with Cleveland, Boston, the Knicks, Pacers playing good ball, I think the East for the first time in like 25 years might be better than the West. The West has got some good teams. I mean, the Clippers, the T-Wolves, Lakers. I mean, any one of those teams can turn it on in the playoffs. But I'm with you. I mean, there's a 13 and a half. I'd like to see the stat. There's a 13 and a half game difference between Oklahoma City and Houston. I can't remember the last time the one and the two had that big of a discrepancy.
They don't take their foot off the gas. It's like you
No.
go on the road sometimes, like you were thinking last night, and you had said, I wonder what's going to happen. They're going to sack. They're -9. And that's the perfect time for them to take their foot off the gas. They just came out of LA, beating the Clippers. They went on a string of like playing Denver twice, and they never, ever, ever, ever let up this team. It's like we know that we have it, and we're afraid to turn that switch off for one night because what if we can't turn it back on? So they just leave the switch turned on. That's the way I see it.
I agree. I mean, they're 60-12 for a reason, 30-5 at home, 29-7 on the road. I mean, they're so deep. They did an unbelievable job in the off season to bring in some great young talent, that just kind of supplements what they've already got. They've crushed it in the draft. That's a really good team.
I like it. Look, let's pivot. Because our Robbie LaStella also is on his way to Atlanta tomorrow morning. So he's going to be back again covering we're everywhere this weekend. We're getting Mr. Marlin bobbleheads, Inter Miami, NASCAR. Robbie's going to be at the Sweet 16. And I'm assuming you're being the cigar bar, just kicking back and enjoying it, right?
That's the hope. We'll definitely be somewhere, without a doubt, watching these games. I turned down opening day tickets to the Mariners Athletics to catch tomorrow's night's games. I'll be honest, guys. I haven't seen this slate of games. The 4 games going tomorrow. It doesn't get any better. I mean, BYU, Alabama, phenomenal. Florida, Maryland, phenomenal. Arizona, Duke, and then Arkansas, Texas Tech is your nightcap. I mean, it does not get any better than those 4 games tomorrow.
What are we looking at? What are players looking at tomorrow night? What do we want to look for? I'm not asking you to give anything away here. You've been giving stuff away forever. We everyone knows where to go now. You go to troywins.com, and you get locked in.
You get money.
Yeah, you get money. But what are you looking at tomorrow night? What are you looking for? What are you expecting? What are you fearing?
Favorites have covered like this whole tournament, as we've talked about. It's been a very chalky tournament. I don't want to come out and say that they're going to continue to cover, but I mean, the dogs are getting a lot of points tomorrow. They just are. I mean, BYU getting 5.5. It's a lot of points against Alabama. I mean, Alabama's a good basketball team, but they've got their weaknesses. BYU to me matches up great with them. Like I said, the total set at 175.5. I gotta think that that's a tournament record. I'd have to look that up, but that's the highest total I've seen in quite some time. I'd like to think the way that BYU's been playing, they'll hang in that game tomorrow. Maryland, Florida's intriguing. I would normally lean Maryland getting those points, but they had the emotional victory out here in Seattle, getting the buzzer beater win against Colorado State. They've got to flush that quickly, fly into San Francisco and turn on the motors again. I think Florida probably wins that game just because Maryland has got to be exhausted from that. I mean, that was an unbelievable Sunday night finish. Arizona, Duke, a lot of intrigue. Brown from Duke, he's been out the last 4 games. He's a game time decision. I think he ends up playing in that game. 9.5 is a lot of points, though. I'm staying away from that one. That's just Arizona's tough. Tommy Lloyd from Gonzaga, your school, AJ. Tommy Lloyd's done a phenomenal job with Arizona. Getting 9.5 in that game's a lot. And then can Calipari continue to do what he's doing? I mean, talk about a guy that's changing the narrative. I mean, if you didn't like Calipari last year, you sure as hell like him this year. What a job he's done. I think Texas Tech puts them to sleep tomorrow, but that's going to be another phenomenal game.
So you said something in that stretch there that was key. and this is where a lot of people screw up. You said on the Duke Arizona game, you're staying away from it. You're not touching it.
Not touching that
Isn't
one,
that the
man.
key? You cannot play every single game and
You
expect
can't.
to come
No, you
out on
can't. I
top.
mean, so many people, it's like if they're glued to a TV, they got to have money on it, right? I think that's kind of the new norm with sports betting. They're not going to watch unless they have something on it. So sometimes I like to just throw in the bag of popcorn and tune in and just watch and know that I can just relax and just watch good basketball. So it's okay to do that without a doubt.
I'd rather skip a game and go watch Moana 2 with my kid. or you take the dogs for a walk or something, because sometimes I get overload. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I just watched a 7:00 game. Now there's a 9:00 game. Now there's an 11:00 game. And all right, I'm going to skip this one. I don't see anything that I like. I'm going to skip it and get out. So tomorrow night, we can look at the Friday games when you're on with us tomorrow
Absolutely.
night. Okay,
Love to.
cool.
Love to.
Cool.
It does not get any worse Friday night. Let's just say that. I mean, my gosh. I mean, I can't remember a tournament that's got this many intriguing matchups. I mean, every game's going to be good. They're going to be, I mean, and literally every game is a great matchup. And nothing against the Cinderella stories, but it's kind of nice to get rid of the Cinderellas, these games, and you don't have a 14-point line here in the Sweet 16. There's none of those. These are going to be great games.
All right, so you're gonna be with us tomorrow, and you're gonna come back next week, and we're gonna do this next week again. And then there is the Troy Wynn show, which will be coming out. There's a lot of stuff that Troy and I are working on behind the scenes. Tomorrow, Troy, a little bit before your time, but we get another big guest tomorrow night. Bucky Dent is on with us tomorrow night.
like it.
All right,
I cannot not laugh.
you like that? You like that? This is a rated PG show, so you know, I mean, kids watch this show, and I'm not gonna put stuff out there.
But
that kids
Troy,
shouldn't.
you know, we got a lot of viewers tonight.
We get a lot of viewers every night.
Yeah, I know, but tonight the interview
Yeah, the chat's off the hook.
So I'm getting texts as we're talking. People want to know, how do they subscribe?
Get to the website, troywins.com. We've just opened up an entire prop division. That's off to a great start. We got burned on one yesterday. AJ will like that one. We had over 27.5 points for Karl Anthony Towns. He had 24 at halftime and finished with 26. So how's that for a bad beat? We also had Draymond Green over rebounds. He over 6.5. He had 5 at halftime and finished with 6. So we do lose, but guys, we're winning a hell of a lot more than we lose. It's troywins.com. We've got a prop division. You can follow us on Instagram. It's Troy West. All of our results are posted, full transparency. Truly feel like we're the best in the industry. And $29, we're not going to upsell you. We're not going to tell you to bet your mortgage. We're not doing any of that bullshit. So come take a look. It's troywins.com.
Troy, we love you. You know that, right?
I appreciate it. I'm looking for when you and Junior ready to go to Vegas. I got plane tickets that will be. You'll open up your drawer like they did in Two for the Money. You'll open up your desk drawer and they'll be there. The tickets, the airline tickets will be there.
Nice. I like that. But we need to get you to Florida.
Yeah.
We need to get you to Florida. You got to come over here.
That's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list.
You come Sunday. You can get a Jeff Conine bobblehead.
That was intriguing. That was intriguing. Is he putting you guys in a suite? What's he doing?
We didn't get that far with him. At first,
Okay.
you know, some guys they give it away immediately. We've had many. Come out to my winery. Come to Fenway. Come to here. He didn't volunteer anything, so we won't go there.
Fair enough.
But I'll tell you, they did the Harper bobbleheads a couple of years ago at Citizens Bank Park, and literally during the game, people were selling them on eBay. These Harper bobbleheads. It was nuts. They were walking around offering other people, like, "I'll give you $100 for that bobblehead."
Yeah,
The bobblehead game is amazing. I've got a couple sitting here. Got Micah Parsons, Barry Sanders, and Troy Aikman. But the bobblehead game? What a bizarre game! Holy.
What we need to do is get those people on the Troy Wynn show, and then you put the bobblehead right next to the person, and we see how it looks. We'll do that with Conine when he comes back.
We'll impersonate them with the bobblehead.
Yeah, exactly. Troy, thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow evening, right around the same time, 7:45, 7:50. Everybody go to troywins.com. We will be back momentarily with MJ Ballinger, our relief pitcher. FAU Owls, they're on fire. So Troy, thanks so much, man. We'll see you tomorrow night, and everybody sit tight. We'll be back.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Some people got to have it. Hey, hey. Some people really need it. Listen to me, y'all. Do things, bad things with it. Well, you wanna do things, good things with it. Yeah. Talk about cash, money. Talk about cash, money, dollar bills, y'all. Come on now. Yeah. People will steal from their mother. People will rob their own brother. People can't even walk the streets because they'll never know in the world they're gonna be. For that make great almighty dollar. That money. People will lie, they will cheat. People don't care who they hurt or beat.
I need these great big buttons on these boards that tell me what buttons I'm pushing, because this is not the song I thought I was pushing.
Which ones do you want to play?
Not this one, like any one other than this one. This would be more like a Troy West coming in song. Guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We appreciate the chat going off the hook tonight.
Yeah.
Keep it up, please. And coming really soon, we're gonna have a phone line where you can call into the show. Okay.
Whole fan segment.
Yeah, and also we got the app already. We just got to cross some T's and dot the I's on it. But you can download the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network app and take us with you wherever you go. And your Apple, your Android feed will just spit the sound of our voices out right in over your car radio.
Do it.
All right. So it's like there's no less excitement. It doesn't go. It's like, all right, yeah, we got a great guest, and then we got other. I'm pumped because I love FAU and I love FAU baseball.
Heck yeah.
And I love this kid, and I've never spoken to him before, so this is going to be the first time actually meeting him. But everything I've seen so far and everything I've heard about him so far, this is the dude that you want your daughter to meet. Not because he may end up in the major leagues making $50 million a year, because that's probably what relief pitchers will get at that point, or maybe he'll be a starter, but because just all around, he's a good dude. From what I learned. So let's welcome MJ Ballinger. Am I saying your last name correctly?
It's Ballinger.
Ballinger. I'm real bad with
it gets messed up a lot.
Well, MJ, just to let you know, I got an 18-year-old daughter, sir.
Goodness.
Easy.
I'm all for it.
Hey, relax, MJ. I was just playing.
All right. So here's the first question I have. All right, because you're definitely not the first FAU athlete that we've had on. Is it in the FAU athlete handbook that they give out that says if you ever do an appearance, you have to hang an FAU banner up behind you? Because everyone does that.
It makes the room look so much better.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
This is like the only piece of like niceness I have in my room. It gives it style. It gives it some spaz. So you gotta love it.
I dig it. I dig it a lot. Look, man. First of all, I apologize for having to bump you back twice today. But I appreciate you hanging in there. It was I mean, growing up, I'm assuming you wanted to be a baseball player.
Actually, no, I want to be a football player.
Really?
I want to be a quarterback in the NFL for the longest time. And then when I realized I could throw a baseball hard and get people out, that's when it kind of took over from there.
Okay.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
do you know who Jeff Conine is?
Yeah.
All right. And do you know who Evan Longoria is?
I grew up watching Longo. That was cool being able to watch him tonight.
Yeah. Did you ever, like in your wildest dreams, imagine that you'd be on the same show with Longo and with Mr. Marlin?
Never. I would never in my wildest dreams picture me even being on the same call as them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Nobody on the team is going to be able to top this. You know that, right?
Oh, I'm eating this up for sure.
Awesome, man. Well,
We are too.
Yeah. No, this was cool because we're fans, man. We're not journalists.
Yeah.
We're not broadcasters. We started a podcast as a hobby, and now it's grown into this national sort of brand where we're bringing in. I mean, I'll give a teaser from Monday night.
Don't do it.
Jose Canseco.
Oh, he did it.
Jose
he did
Canseco on Monday night. So if you think, all right, yeah, these guys are done, they ain't got, we haven't even gotten started yet. Jose Canseco. Oh, but don't worry about that, man. Hey, your first season at FAU. I pulled a couple of clips of you, and I want to start with this one right here, okay? Because I think this kind of sets the tone for who you are. So this is before you take the mound.
Yeah.
You kneel down and you say a prayer behind the mound before you start pitching, correct?
Dude, yes. I always say a prayer before I pitch.
Love that. Love that.
And are you praying? And the team responds.
I think the team knows just I like to bring energy on the mound. And after I say that prayer, it's kind of like I'm going to punch you in the face now. And that's why I do like the 2 glove taps, and they respond really well. And that honestly gets me going.
So I have a question since you said that. In your prayer, are you asking God for forgiveness about
That's a good question. That's a good question, bro.
There's been some games where I get down and I pray, and I've already said the F-bomb probably 25 times on the mound in warm-ups, and I go and I ask him to forgive me for what I may say or what I may do. But I always ask him for grace and everything he's going to do for me on that mound for a favor.
Absolutely. I do it like 50 times a day, dude.
That's awesome.
Seriously.
And
my mom hates it. After every game, it's watch your mouth on the mound. Like, sorry, Mom, it just comes out on the baseball field.
Look, here's the great thing, and we don't do politics and we don't do religion on the show. Yeah. And I would like to, but we don't. But once you're forgiven, you're forgiven. That's the beautiful thing about salvation. And but again, I don't want to go down that road because that's just, it's not that I don't want to, it's just not what this is. This
right.
Our show is to unplug from everything that you get on Fox or CNN or everywhere else that's beating you over the head, man. So how much are you enjoying your first year in paradise?
I absolutely love it. I'm actually from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So Boca it's kind of my backyard, kind of home. And I love it here. It's everything I could have ever wished for or imagined.
And how good is this team? Because you guys have been killing it so far.
This has got to be one of the best teams I've ever played with, not just on the field, but off the field. We're a tight knitted group. Everybody's for each other, and we're all like best friends on the team. Everybody from third baseman, outfielders, catchers, pitchers, we're all so tight, and we have such a great bond as a team. It's truly amazing.
And tell me about Coach Mack. What's he like to play for?
Oh, I love playing for Coach Mack. It's hard to read him at sometimes, but he's one of those guys that only means business on the field, and he only cares about the win and whatever you have to do to get the win. And that's the type of guy I want to play for, somebody who's going to want to win 100% of the time and not just play people to play people.
And your role, I've been to one game this year, but I wasn't there for the whole game. I went, I had a meeting. I saw you guys on a Sunday afternoon for a few minutes and I got out. I want to make time to get out there because last year I went to most of the games.
Yeah.
Are you a closer? Are you one of the closers? Are you set up? Because I've got mixed, and the FAU website's not really giving me. They're telling me you got a killer ERA, 2.41, but that's about all they're giving me.
Yeah, so I'm the closer on the team right now. My biggest thing that I thrive off of is high pressure situations, and the closer's the guy to do that. So I go out there and I try to get the job done for the team, and normally that's how it goes. and the ERA kind of comes along with the saves.
When you're walking out ready to close a game, is there a song that's playing in your head?
Click Click Boom by Saliva. If you ever watch Talladega Nights and Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. When you're driving that car, you need to be full blast heavy metal, and that's what I love, and that's my walkout song.
I love it, dude.
I don't know the song, but I love it. And if our producer would show up when he says he's going to show up, we could pull it right now. And I have an assignment for you, so you better get in here, Steven, wherever you are. He was in the chat a little while ago. So you wanted to be a quarterback, and you grew up locally. Did you play quarterback in high school?
No, I played linebacker and long snapper at St. Thomas Aquinas.
You're a big guy, right? What are you? You're 6'1", 6'2"?
I'm 6 foot, 205 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
So quarterback, probably not in my area anymore, but I was a really good linebacker. I was good at run support, not pass, because I'm not fast at all.
Okay.
But the long snapping was kind of a technique and specialty that I learned over time, and nobody else could snap a ball 14 yards. So that was what I can do really well.
And how did you discover that you could throw a baseball so hard and that you could really be effective as a pitcher? When did it happen, and how did it happen?
Well, I've been throwing hard my whole life. I was one of the hardest throwers on my team, but we were in a tournament, and my dad looked at me and goes, "You just threw that ball 89 miles an hour." And I looked at him like, "What did you just say?" 80.
How old were you?
I would have been 14 or 15 at the time. I know I hit 90 when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And that's when it kind of clicked, like, do I want to be beating my head and getting concussions in football, or do I want to just strike people out and throw a baseball really hard? That sounded much better for me.
So what is the secret, or what is the key to throwing a ball 80, 89, 90 miles an hour? How is it that's just a gift that can't be taught, or is there a technique that can speed up somebody's arm speed?
Overall, I think it's a gift. I've been blessed my whole life to throw hard, but you got to train. It doesn't just come. Like, I've been working my butt off for the past 4 or 5 years now to be where I'm at and throw the ball hard. And I think all guys who throw hard work their butt off as well. So it is talent, but at the end of the day, you still got to work for it, because nothing comes for free in this world anymore.
I have a question. When you're throwing the ball, obviously you're looking at the catcher, the plate, everything before. But when you're in your windup and you're throwing the ball, are you looking at the glove? Are you looking at the plate? Or is everything black and it's all natural? Or what are you seeing when it comes time to throw the ball?
Normally, the eyes are just strictly on the glove. If you aim small, you miss small, and that's what I've been taught by my dad my whole life. You look at the smallest point on the body. If you aim for that and you miss, you're naturally going to miss small. That's why people at darts don't miss very much. So that's what I do when I'm pitching. It's just strictly at the glove and certain part of the glove that I want to throw to. And if I miss, I don't really miss by that much.
That's awesome.
Was your dad a ball player?
My dad was a football player, so that's where I kind of get the meanness and attitude on the mound from. Is just go punch somebody in the face while you're out there, and then you can walk off and be the nice guy.
I love it, yeah, because you seem like the nicest guy in the world. Everything that I've seen. What is so you grew up though in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, I was born in Virginia, but I lived my whole life that I can remember in Fort Lauderdale.
All right, so explain, how did you become a Phillies fan then?
I played for the Phillies scout team.
Okay.
Which is an affiliate team for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's one of the teams in travel ball where the best players come together from around the nation, and you make like this powerhouse team. And we had Drew Jones, Elijah Green, Blake Sear, Tucker Tolman. I mean, I can go on and on with the amount of players. And when you play for that level of a team, and a major league team gives you their spring training uniforms to wear, sends you cleats that are worth $1,500, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I just started to love the Phillies. And
did you get to meet the Fanatic?
No, I wish I did. I totally would have got a picture on my Instagram.
Oh, you got to get back. You have to get drafted by the Phillies.
I want to go to Citizens Bank Park, like, big time. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, where
It's rough.
Wear the
I'm a
home team gear. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's a right. No, even if you're wearing the home team gear, it's rough. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm sort of adopted by the city. For a long story, but it's rough. I mean, they are the roughest fans in the universe. And they let everyone know it. But man, it is a great place to watch a ball game.
Oh yeah.
And we still have a small window with this Phillies team. I mean, Harper, Schwarber, these guys are getting older, Realmuto, but
it's gonna happen. I think this year's the year. We've had two tough years, 2 tough seasons that end in the playoffs, but I think a Red October can totally come through and be a World Series story.
I love it. He knows the hashtags and everything, man. He's got it down.
He's on it.
He's a Phillies fan right
He's
here.
on it.
He absolutely positively is.
Nobody's perfect.
No,
it's okay.
So how did you get this? I got another video here. How did this one happen? So the school just got a new president, correct?
Yes, we just got a new president, and he came out to our first game, which was cool.
And he threw out the first pitch, and you got to catch it.
Yeah, it was definitely special.
Let's see if I can turn the volume down on the video. Was it like, did they pick your name out of a hat, or did someone come up to you and say, "Hey, would you go out and catch the first pitch?"
Yeah, I was sitting on the bench, and Coach Mack goes, "MJ, I need you really quick." And I walked over and I said, "Hey, Coach, what's going on?" And he goes, "This is the new president of our school. You're catching the first pitch in a week from now for him, so you might want to warm him up today and warm him up before the game." And I was like, "Yes, sir, of course." And I got to know the new president. He's such a nice guy, and we talked for a while. He got to know me, and I think that just shows something about the new president, wanting to get to know an individual person. When he's the top guy at the school, he doesn't have to do that, but he goes out of his way to do that.
That's kind of cool. How's his arm? I mean, does he have any possibilities?
He threw a nice changeup. That's what I saw.
I mean, he had a lot of good horizontal movement on that fastball.
That was a fastball? I thought it was a changeup.
How far? What are the goals for the team? Obviously our goals are to go as far as we can, but like realistically, when you guys sit down and look at who you are, what your schedule looks like, what the conference looks like, and I know from last year that usually earlier in the season, because we have the good weather, you get a lot of home games, and you also can kind of pad the record a little bit. I'm not saying that you guys are doing that at all, but what's the realistic outlook on how far you guys can go?
Well, everybody's goal is to win the World Series, right? To win Omaha. But we've learned that you got to take goals step by step. Your overarching goal can be, let's go to Omaha, but first we got to win a regional. We haven't run a regional in quite a while, I believe.
Okay.
Getting there first is a big step, and then moving on from that to super regionals, and then ultimately to the World Series. Another goal, sticking together as a team. I guess in years past that hasn't been great, but this year, like I said, we have the tightest knit group I've ever played on, and some guys have ever played on as well that I know. So I think we can go very, very far in this, not only just with the pitching staff, but the hitters are unreal. Guys like Jake Dewar and John Schroeder in the lineup. You really can't get any better than that. And starters are amazing. Relievers coming in clutch.
Closer. Amazing.
Whatever I can do to help, man. Whatever I can do.
It sounds like it's something from like FAU culture, though, because every time we have somebody on from a sport, all they talk about is the cohesiveness of the team, the friendships and the morale, and just seems like every single team is locked in and in line with what the goal is.
All right, so I've already established that I love this team and that I have a love for FAU, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That being said, culture is a word that is so overused in college sports. And I saw it specifically with football with Coach Herman.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach Herman's culture is different. The culture. We'll all run through a wall for Tom Herman, this or that, and that, and then this and the other thing. And nobody did any of that stuff. And then Herman got fired, and then everybody started bad-mouthing what it was like to play for Herman at that point. So I'm assuming, you don't have to say anything, but I know that when college athletes come through and they go into a school, they go through I don't know what it's called, but let's say a media sort of training class, and media bad, You're required to say these certain things. Media is going to try to get you to say, controversial sort of things. And maybe that's true, but that's not us. I mean, we're literal homers. I mean, we're just, we're fans is what we are.
No, but as a fan, I like to believe that there's real culture and fake culture.
Yeah.
Fake culture gets exposed through terminations, right?
Yeah.
And results.
Mm-hmm.
Real culture is something that's built. So I mean, when it comes to culture, I don't think there's real and there. I know it's widespread and it's thrown out there like it's insignificant, but when it's real, I think it's huge.
So
I think that's what's going on here.
So last year we had something, it might have been shorter. I don't remember what it was. We had somebody booked on and they had to bail at the last minute.
Mhm.
But Sam, who is our SID with the team, he says, I got a replacement for you. I was like, okay. He goes, Coach Mack. I was like, wow, the coach is stepping in. And Coach Mack was this awesome dude. I mean, we talked FAU, but we talked 1960s New York Yankees and Mickey Mantle and Chinese food and Brooklyn and all kinds of really cool stuff. So I buy into the Coach Mack culture 1 billion%.
Right.
I would say I can't speak on any other team because I'm not on the softball team, volleyball team, but baseball, our culture is grit. We're not the name Tennessee or Alabama. We don't have that name, but we play and we give our all with our grit, and we believe that we can hang with those teams just because of how hard we work and our dedication to the program. And I think that's on baseball, just grit and being those guys that want to get dirty, want to go out there and put their hands to work instead of being fed everything. We're going to go out there and we're going to take it. I think that's our big perk on this team.
Do you guys look at the softball team? We had Destiny Johns on last week, and do you look at them and how good they're doing also, and say, hey, we got to keep up with them?
Yeah, we look at them. We're like, wow, they're playing really, really good ball right now. It's truly amazing. We don't ever try to keep up with them, but what they're doing is pretty cool too. I think the bat and ball sports are probably going to start taking over FAU shortly, in my opinion, because I think we are the two best teams on campus.
I totally agree. The hockey club was very good too. They just won the Nationals. They just won the Nationals, and on Wednesday night next week, I believe it's not official yet, but I believe we're going to have possibly the whole team in here in studio with the trophy, with everything. But yeah, my hope is that whatever needs to be done, and these are things that I don't understand, portals and I get it, but I don't. I would love to see one of these really good bat and ball teams stay together, because if they stay together, then the culture really takes hold.
Agreed.
And then you can make a run.
That's a problem. I think the transfer portal, it just ruins college baseball now, and especially with all the money that's going to be thrown at players, it's crazy. A school can come out of nowhere and offer you $150,000 like it's nothing. It ruins the game, because you can have a great team full of dogs at this small mid-major school, and then they all split up to go to a school because of money wise. It's hard to stay when you hear $200,000.
Disheartening, really is.
Yeah,
and it sucks.
And let's be real. That's the reason why I think most people have valued college sports over pros, because these kids are playing for something, and it's not money.
Yeah, but now it is, and that's the bummer of it. And it's such the wild west at this point, where there's almost like no rules and no regulations, and
like a college athlete's being paid more, like millions of dollars, and then the NFL players getting paid, league minimum, and the college players getting paid 5 times more than the professional athlete. College sports is now just it's amateurism. It's now you're getting paid, and you can start to see schools losing that culture because people just want to go there for money. I think that's what's so good about our schools. Like, we keep the culture going.
Here's a question that I have that I've always thought about for college kids, right? If let's just say you got a huge deal in college and you were pretty much set for life, do you kind of like not even care about going pro at that point? Because not that you wouldn't want to go pro because that was your lifelong dream.
You lose the hunger because you got
lose
the money.
hunger because you're young. The mentality is not there, so you get a lot of money, and then would it be easy to fall out, you think?
For a lot of people, it would be. But if you're a kid and like me and who's always dreamed of being a professional athlete, if you hear a college name and then you hear the Phillies, I would much rather go to the Phillies for league minimum, the lowest amount of payment I can, just to play Major League Baseball. They get paid a crap ton of money in college, because at some point in time, your name's going to be forgotten in college sports, unless you're, a Jeter or some huge name of college baseball. But if you're a dog for the Phillies, your name's going to be etched in history.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't lose that drive.
Yeah, I want you on the Phillies. And if the Phillies don't work out, go to the Yanks. All right, go to the Yankees.
Two tough fan bases, but I like getting yelled at from the stands. It drives me to pitch better.
The Yankees are kitty cats compared to Phillies fans. I'm telling you, I've experienced. I've lived both as a Yankee fan and a Philly. Just don't sign with the Marlins. I know it's the hometown team, and maybe Jeff Conine can change.
Hey, whatever major league team wants to offer me, I'll put my phone number in the chat. Give me a call. I'm on it right away.
But in the near future, we want to do a show from Omaha this year.
Yes.
Watching you guys.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best teams FAU has had in a very long time. And I know this is my first year here, but talking to people who've been here for a while now, we have something special that hasn't been here in quite a while. And we're gonna run this thing out,
So so here, let me, before I ask you this question and let you run, but did you lose a bet, or how did you end up? Because I got one more video.
What's
I know,
up,
I think
FAU?
that
My name's MJ
$1
Ballinger.
hot
That's
dog.
$1 hot dogs. Let's go find some people. Do you like baseball? Yeah. Of course I do.
And as soon as I saw this video, I said, yes, this is our guy right
Great
here.
quote. Somebody once told me, if you ain't first, you're last. They were in the dining hall.
$1 hot dogs over at the baseball stadium.
Let's go out! Can I get one hot dog, please? Thank you. So, honestly, why did they put onions on the hot dog? I don't know. That's not my style, obviously.
It's a good hot dog. Really good.
Do you guys like hot dogs?
Yes!
Yes, I do.
Oh, I love hot dogs.
Oh, why not? Okay, fellas, are you guys going to be at $1 hot dog night at FAU baseball? Yeah! We got to come back down. We're getting a little warm up in. Let's show them what we're about. Just found a good friend of mine. His name's Owsley. Just posted up, living life. Got to be safe. We don't jaywalk here at FAU. I'm pretty exhausted. I need to go cool off, so come follow me.
$1 hot dog night for FAU. Please come out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Connor, he's one of our operations guys on the team. He sent out a text asking if anybody could come promote the game, and I love promoting FAU baseball, especially how much they've done for me. And nobody responded, and I was like, oh, let's go do this. And they had a hot dog costume, and I had no idea I was going to be going in that. I kind of got a little nervous, but my instinct kind of took over, and it was just be yourself, be this funny guy. And that jumping in the pool was like last minute. They were like, we need something to like end the video off funny. I'm like, I'll go jump in the pool at my apartment complex. And I think it made the video.
It was awesome. Look, I'm sure baseball is going to work out for you, but if it doesn't, content creator, like the next Jake Paul influencer, sort of.
My dad would probably kill me.
Well, it's better than being the wiener.
Yeah. That was a tough pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, it got a lot of laughs.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
All right. So what can everybody that's watching, what can they do to support the team? I know, because I played some sports. I know that it sucks to play in front of an empty stadium. And I know that when the place is packed, the juices are flowing and you're asking for forgiveness behind the mound. A lot harder when the place is rocking than when it's an empty stadium. And I will say this, the game that I did go to was a Sunday afternoon game. And there was a lot of people there. Might have been a Saturday afternoon game, but there was a lot of people there that day.
I went last year to a game and there was nothing.
Well, this year there were a lot of people there, and I guess it's going to be hit or miss. But
Yeah.
what can we do to support the team?
I would just say for anybody watching, come out to the games. I mean, when we have a lot of people out to the games, we really play great baseball. We don't lose. The atmosphere isn't dead, and I mean, come out and support. We love it. We love the energy. Like you said, a stadium with nobody just feels like you're playing an inter squad or a practice. But when you have people come out to the game like University of Miami or UConn when we played, it was so packed. It was electric, and we played great baseball. And we're still playing great baseball with maybe not as many fans, but when a lot of people come out, it's like, wow, you're going to see some really good talent on the field, and you're going to see the FAU Owls get a W.
They're a lot of fun, man.
And I heard they always beat the Hurricanes. Is that true? Like, do you guys always beat the Canes in the
We
series?
had a tough loss at home, which has been the first one in a long time, but normally we give it to them. And
yeah, that's awesome, huh?
yeah, so we got one more game against them this year to have the series, and hopefully we can win that game and get the series win against them.
Yeah.
In weeks, but those games are always really good. It's never one team blows out the other. It's a close game.
Oh, that's the game I went to last year, and then we left because the Canes were blowing y'all out, and then find out later you guys came back and won at the end of the game. It was awesome.
Grit.
That's the definition of grit ball. That's the definition of grit ball. You just don't give up, and you go out there and you keep fighting.
Yeah.
All right, so you're on the road this weekend, if I'm correct, right?
You're on a road stretch. So we go UTSA this weekend. Our midweek will be back at FGCU. Then we head over to Eastern Carolina for that weekend series, and I think we're back here playing FGCU again, or we're going somewhere else. So we go on a very long road stretch.
Okay. All right.
We're very excited. We leave here at 8:30 tomorrow morning to get to the airport to head out to San Antonio.
You guys you get to fly. If this is if you were playing in Philly minor leagues, you'd be bussing it to Texas.
Listen, when I played at junior college last year, we were bussing everywhere. So I'm blessed to say that we're getting on the plane. You know,
that is awesome. That is awesome.
Heck yeah.
And the games are televised on Owls TV?
They're going to be on ESPN Plus actually this weekend. I believe all of our games now, conference games, are going to be held on ESPN Plus, but I think the Owls TV is still going to be up and running.
All right.
But yeah, ESPN Plus is definitely covering these games.
And you can follow the FAU Owls baseball team on our FAU website, the Owls Nest.
Yes.
And you know, they're really, Rick and Garen and Robbie, they're really, really, really good at you know, keeping everybody up to date and up to speed on what's going on. And man, it was a pleasure having you again. I apologize that we had to move the time a couple of times, but I'm going to tell you, I had the most fun tonight talking to you. And look, we spent a lot more time with you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It was truly a pleasure. This is amazing.
Just don't forget us when you become Mr. Philly.
Yes.
I want to.
I won't.
The Fanatic and my daughter share a birthday. It's April 25th. I know because I've been to Fanatic birthday parties at Citizens Bank Park before. So yeah, we want to go as you go, and we would love to have you back again later in the season as you guys move on. If you would like to.
I love that. This is great. You know, this is really good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I definitely want to track the whole season.
Yeah, no, we're on.
You guys stay till the 9th inning, and hopefully I can get a save.
Yeah, I will. I don't stay till the 9th inning ever of any sort of game unless I go to Citizens Bank Park, because the hotel I stay in is in the parking lot of the stadium, so it's easy in, easy out. But with the traffic, there's a lot of traffic getting out of FAU Stadium in Boca. But I'll stay late in the game.
Just one
case I want to see you. Yeah,
be ready. Be ready.
We'll be there. MJ, man, it was our pleasure. All right.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Have a great road trip. We're going to be following you. Everybody sit tight. Take a break. When we come back, we got our MLB picks. And we got Bill Perkins' MLB picks also.
You got them.
Stephen Luker is going to read them, and he's here now. So we got Bill Perkins from Top Fan Rivalries MLB picks. So let me find the appropriate. There we go. We'll go with this one. All right. All right. We'll be right back with more of the Bleacher Brothers show. Oh, and let me tease you tomorrow night.
Tease.
Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. She'll make you curse, but she a blessing. She'll rip your shirt within a second. You'll be coming back for seconds. With your play, you just can't help it. No, you'll play along. Let her lead you on. You'll be saying no, then saying yes, cause you're messing with your head. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Grab a cop gun, kinda crazy. She's poison but tasty. And people say run, don't walk away. Yeah, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. So someone said, don't drink her potions. She'll kiss your neck with no emotion. When she's mean, you know you love it. She tastes so sweet, don't sugarcoat it. No, you'll play along. Let her lead you on. You'll be saying no. Then saying yes, cause you're messing with your head. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Grab a cop gun, kinda crazy. She's poison but tasty. And people say run, don't walk away. Yeah, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. You're just like me, you're out your mind. I know it's strange, we're both the crazy kind. You're telling me that I'm insane, but don't pretend that you don't love the pain. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Grab a cop gun, kinda crazy. She's poison but tasty. And people say run, don't walk away. Yeah, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind.
When you walk through a storm.
Did you know
Everything?
that on everything? Did you know that on Thursday nights at 6:00, right before the Bleacher Brothers show,
Yeah.
Kicking It Back with Matt, and this is the theme song for Kicking It Back with Matt, EPL Soccer. Let me give you a little taste of what we're about to dive into
Tell me.
between now and the fall. Okay? Guests, and more guests. I mean, they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We are going to Europe for the EFL, which is basically the NFL Europe. So the NFL Europe, I guess, is what we're going for. Because
right. Call it that for the Americans.
Yeah, Ed Warner, who does a show on our channel,
Bleacher Brothers Sports Network,
is the assistant coach now of the, I forget the team, but he leaves tomorrow for Europe.
That's awesome.
We also are working on getting credentialed with the English Premier League, which means we're going to expand internationally. And there's going to be a crew of us that goes to Europe this summer, late summer, and we're going to do the NFL Europe, credentialed, and inside access with Ed. We're going to do the EPL, credentialed, probably Liverpool, Man U.
Maybe
we're going to go to Wrexham, and we're going to rub elbows with. Oh, hold your horses, bro.
Sorry, I'm getting
hold
excited.
your horses.
Hold the horses, Junior.
We're going to do Wrexham, and then we're going to go to Ireland to the team that I own, the Carrick Rangers.
Yes.
Okay. We are also yesterday, and if you haven't caught this, everything's on replay on our YouTube channel. Go to Conversations with Jeff DeForest, and he had, I got to pull this kid's name up because I'm going to mess it up, but it's Xavier Zayas, I think. He's undefeated, 21-0, 13 knockouts, top contender, super middleweight, and he's getting ready for a big fight.
Yep.
We are in discussions with Top Rank Boxing right now. So Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. Oh, how's that podcast you got going, AJ? Here's how it's going, douchebag. All right.
It's going everywhere.
Boxing right now.
That's right.
To do our own sort of all access or 24/7 on this fight. That's super.
I was going to say, who's the man?
We are.
We are the man.
No. Everybody that watches the show, supports the show.
Yes, you're right.
Tunes in on the chat. They're the man. And we
for
appreciate
fan,
it because
by fan.
because for fans by fans. And that's why we're not going to forget. That's why on Sunday I could be sitting in the air-conditioned press box at Inter Miami, kicking back, eating the buffet.
Absolutely.
No, me and Nick the Flicker are going to be sitting in the most rowdy section of the stadium, hanging with the fans, and bringing the feeling of what it's like to go to an Inter Miami game to everybody. And we'll be posting on YouTube and Facebook and X and
who else is doing it?
TikTok and nobody's doing that. We will never forget where we came from and where we're going. But I promise you, we will take you there.
No,
All right?
definitely. And then here's another difference. When we interview somebody, we're coming from the fan perspective. Anytime they get an interview anywhere else, it's about controversial stuff.
Well, Longoria said that that's the most asked question he was ever asked about catching that ball.
Yes.
But it's like I don't know how he did that. How you can't stage that? How did
I
you
think
do
he
that?
kind of inclined. It was staged.
He said he would wink, but how do you stage somebody hitting a line drive in foul territory to an exact spot and him turning at the exact...
I only have one answer.
Yeah.
Spider senses.
Spider senses.
Only way.
What are spider senses?
Spider-Man, like he
Yeah, I'm not
he
a
just
comic.
felt
I'm not a comic book dude.
Spidey senses.
All right.
He has them.
All right. Steven, did you get that text I sent you?
Yes, already written it down.
All right,
How many
so
games do you want the World Series to go to?
How many games do I want the World Series to go
What?
to? What do you mean?
You have Dodgers winning it, but how many games are we?
I don't. That's not mine. Those are Bill Perkins picks, and you don't give away who we picked for the World Series winner. Although, of course, we know that Bill, being a homer, is going to ride the Dodgers all the way.
I'm going Dodgers too.
But I'm not. So, and anybody in the chat that wants to chime in, and we'll get done here quickly because we know Joe Q's coming up in just a few minutes. All right.
Yep.
Tomorrow night also. All right. So tomorrow night, Uncle Rico, Bucky Dent, Luch on ice tomorrow night, Nick the Flick,
Big time.
Tom Corum, Tom Coran. I apologize for not having that. Joe Q says he's not prepared to go on yet, so he wants us to run over. All right.
I don't have no more beer left.
No, Joe Jr.'s got no more beer left, and
We got to stop.
we got to stop. All right. So we're done. Good night, everybody. No, so let me make a little chart here. All right. So we got Junior, AJ, BP, and Luke. Are you getting in on this?
Not this year. I did horrible last year.
All right. So let's.
I'm just writing it down.
Are we
All right.
starting AL or
We're going
NL?
to start AL East, then we're going to go Central, then we're going to
All
go
right.
West,
Okay.
then we're going to go the wild card teams, and then we'll go. I guess it doesn't matter. Where do you want to start?
I'm good with AL East.
All right, wild cards. All right, so let's go like this. All right, Junior, AL East. Who you got?
Red Sox.
Red Sox. Any? Are you just sucking up to the guests that we had that invited us to Fenway?
No, but one thing I have learned is that you have to listen to the people with the knowledge. So from our past guests and with current situations, I'm leaning Red Sox.
All right, who does Bill Perkins have in the American League East?
He has the Yankees.
Bill Perkins on the Yankees. Okay. Stephen Luke, you're sitting this out. Anybody in the chat, if you want to chime in now, and we'll go through this with you. I'm going to surprise you here.
I have a feeling who you're going to say.
I'm going to go Tampa.
I thought you were going to say Tampa. And I like Tampa this year.
Tampa and Longoria alluded to this, but then he went sideways, and that interview literally went sideways. That's a phrase I use all the time. It went sideways. Tampa's constantly disrespected and overlooked, but yet they're almost always there. And I feel like the Yankees are just an Aaron Judge injury away. All right, keep that up, Stephen, okay? So that we can lock Joe Q's picks in here, all right?
And then Michael Nelson says Rays as well.
So, all right, so Rays in the East we'll go Yankee legs.
Yeah, he's a homer.
Yankee legs. He's going Yankees. Oh, who did he say? Rays. All right, Rays in the East. Q is got. Who's Q got?
Yankees.
All right, Q's got Yankees in the East. We're staying in the East right now. I just think that the Yankees are just an Aaron Judge injury away from going on a bad stretch, and it's just a matter of time before Aaron Judge gets injured.
Well, I was thinking the same thing with the Rays. They're like, if they get an injury, they're done.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with the Rays for the last decade, but yet they're always there in the end.
Right.
So why not? I don't know. The Red Sox seem dangerous to me. Baltimore, I think they're going to kind of fall backwards. And, I've been picking Toronto for a couple of years now, and they just keep letting me down. So I'm going to learn my lesson on Toronto.
And Baltimore's without Corbin Burns lost in free agency. So they have to go with someone else.
Yeah, and the rookie. Who's the rookie? The guy who was the rookie last year, the big guy. He's out. He's injured too. I forget his name off the top of my head. All right. So let's go to the American League Central. And who's Bill Perkins locking in the American League Central? Well, let's Joe Q in the American League Central is going with Cleveland. All right.
All right, Cleveland.
Joe Q's got Cleveland. Yankee legs, you got to weigh in on the American League Central. Who's Bill Perkins got there, Steven?
He has Tigers.
He's got the Tigers. All right. I kind of like Bill Perkins. I like how he's thinking.
I'm going Tigers as well.
Oh. See, you guys are screwing me up because I was going to go Tigers.
Well, you still can. It's overall.
Yeah, I know.
Right? I mean, there's no.
I'm going Cleveland. I'm going to lock Cleveland in. But
and that was an emotional bet, everybody.
No, it's not an emotional bet because I could easily go Minnesota too. And you could say Minnesota, but just like Tampa, Minnesota's there every single year. Last year they weren't, but there was one year. Okay. Minnesota's always there. It's kind of a toss-up, this division.
And Michael Nelson says Tigers.
Mike's going with the Tigers. We should have just sent Mike the link and brought him on right now to do this with us.
Yeah,
but, next time we'll do that. All right. So in the West, what do we got in the West? Junior, who do you like in the AL West?
Oh, you're going to go with me first? I
mean, let's go with you first.
It's a no-brainer, man. I'm going Rangers, bro.
Rangers, okay.
Even though Ethan Carter's starting in the minor leagues.
Rangers in the West. Who's Perkins got in the West there, buddy?
Bill has the Mariners.
Bill's got the Mariners. Okay. That's a possibility. Q is on
he has Texas. He has the Rangers as well.
He's got Texas.
And are we doing wild card as well?
Yeah, we're doing wild card as well.
I'm glad I'm prepared.
All right. Yankee legs is nobody's on the White Sox, Mike. I don't even think
no one wants to go White Sox.
Nobody's on the White Sox.
Build a tank and go over to the White Sox field and tell them what's going on.
Give me the West, buddy. Who you liking out there in the West? I'm gonna.
He wants Rangers.
He wants the Rangers. All right.
And now we're just waiting for your pick.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Where's my Jeopardy music? I'm not even gonna do it.
No, I'll do it. I got it.
Don't worry about it, Stephen. We're past it. I'm going with the A's.
There's no. Okay.
Just the A's, not the Oakland A's.
We'll find out how bad my pick is on Monday when we bring on Jose Canseco to talk about the A's and Dave Gingona, who lives Bay Area sports.
Yeah, but
we'll see how crazy I am.
Not so Bay Area no more, right?
Yeah, well, they'll always be Bay Area at heart. All right, wild card teams in the AL. He's got Kansas City, Houston, and Kansas City. Q's got his wild card. So let's go wild card Houston. And KC, Yankee legs, give us some wild cards here. Bold moves, Cotton, exactly. Penguin, you can weigh in too if you got picks, buddy. All right, you can't pick Diamondbacks for every single division. Who's Bill Perkins got for wild cards?
He has Royals, Guardians, and Red Sox.
Oh, well, that's right. There's three of them,
Yeah,
aren't
there's
there?
three.
Yeah,
Royals,
and Joe Q is saying Boston is his first wild card.
Cleveland, and who does he have? Royals, Guardians, and who?
Red Sox.
Red Sox. All right. And Q had the Red Sox also? with
Yeah,
Houston
he has
then?
Red
Okay.
Sox, Houston.
All right. We
KC.
don't have to have the wild cards in order. Just wild cards are wild cards. June, who you got as wild cards?
I got the O's, I got the Astros, and I got the Yankees.
O's, the Astros, and the New York Yankees. I got the New York Yankees. I got the Texas Rangers, and I have the not the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers. I said that. Where the hell is my other wild card at? Oh, the Red Sox.
Makes sense.
All right, so Red Sox and Yankee legs are just waiting on you, buddy. Got to give us some wild cards before we move on here, pal. American League Championship Series. We're not going to go round by round. Who you got in the Championship Series, Junior? ALCS.
In the NLCS, I got
ALCS.
ALCS, I got Red Sox.
And
winning the Red. Who are they playing?
Oh no, we're talking winners, aren't we?
You need the series.
All right, well, that's fine.
Because I can't. I'm
who's
not
getting there. Okay, so you got
Yeah.
all right. So World Series, you got the Red Sox going to the World's. Damn, Junior, you're missing my whole pad up here. All right, Red Sox. You got the Red Sox, Dodger. Red Sox, Dodger. Well, all right, we'll come back to that.
We'll
Red
get
Sox. All right, so Red Sox. Now I got to draw lines. I mean, this is a lot of freaking work here. Somebody's got to put this in an Excel spreadsheet.
I will. I have them written down, so I'll do that after
got
the show.
it. My man.
Right. I'm taking Cleveland going to the World Series out of the East. Who's Bill Perkins got in the World Series?
Royals. So, and his ALCS is Tigers versus Royals.
All right, so we're just going Kansas City. Who's Q got?
Texas over Yankees.
He's got Texas over Yankees. Where are you seeing that? Is it back in? Oh, I see it's back in
It's
the
a
chat.
newer
All
chat
right.
one.
All right, so let's get rid of that message. Let's bring Q up. Texas.
And then Michael has Mariners, Red
All right,
Sox.
hold on, Steven. You can't show up at the last minute and start rushing me. All right. Q has got
Steven, remember AJ's old, dude.
Texas. And then Yankee legs. Did he give us his wild card teams?
Mariners, Red Sox, Astros.
Mariners. Red
And he's
Sox,
saying
and
Rays in
Astros.
the World Series.
The who?
He's saying Rays for the AL.
Rays.
Central
That would be something.
Championship.
How I would love. Look, I'm picking the Red Sox out of the American League, but I would love a Yankees Rays ALCS at Steinbrenner Field. How awesome would that be?
Oh yeah.
They might have to move it across the street and do it at Raymond James. They turned it into a baseball stadium last week for the Savannah Bananas, and they had 80,000 people in there.
I heard it was sold out.
Mm-hmm. All right, National League East. All right, guys, pivot. Yankee legs, pivot. Q, pivot. Settle down, Steven. Exactly.
And then Q, he's
we
saying
need
for
some-
his ALCS, he wants A's
Hold on.
and
We need
Rays.
we need some picking music here. There you go, Junior. Here's some picking music for you. All right. All right. So what, Steven?
Joe Q is saying for his ALCS matchup, he wants A's and Rays. The battle of the minor league parks.
ALCS. Who's gonna win it though?
Who do you have for that winning, Joe Q? Oh, it's not his pick. He's saying it'd be the MLB Nightmare pick.
Oh yeah, no, he picked Texas to win that. All right. So all right, we're up to date. Steven, stay in your lane. All right. NL East. The answer back show. I knew it. I knew the only answer you would have is the answer back show. How'd you like Longoria, Penguin? Did you like him? He was part of your World Series team there, buddy. And I got to, where were those guys? Penguin, you remember those guys we met on the street? Oh, they were the best. These Mexican guys, Hispanic guys, but they talked with such the accent. And, oh, God, I wish I had that clip. Penguin, you remember them guys I'm talking about? Like, you thought it was a joke, man. It's no joke. The answer backs, baby. But it was so unbelievably awesome. I mean, it was just funny.
Who the hell is the answer backs?
Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks were called. The answer backs a couple of years ago, man.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Nelson's taking the Mets. All right. So
He was going to say Marlins, but he said, lol, just
I
kidding
know,
with
it's a
him.
joke. Has Q spit out his National League picks? Q spit out those
Nope.
National League picks.
And Junior
here.
hasn't spilled
Who's
his
Bill,
out.
who's Bill Perkins? Bill Perkins took the Mets, didn't he?
Yes, he had to take the Mets because of Meg. That's probably why.
All right. I'm taking the Phillies.
He has Phillies. Joe Q's going with Phillies as well.
All right, Phillies as well. And June, who you
I'm
got?
going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say the Braves.
That's not really going out on a limb.
I know.
Could be the Braves. Could be the Phillies. Definitely not going to be the Mets. Here's the story. The Mets are gonna Met. That's what they're gonna do.
Whatever that means.
That means they're gonna suck.
And
all right,
sell
here
off
we go.
Soto, probably.
All right, so everybody's accounted for in these. We're gonna go to the Central, and Q's got the Pirates in the Central. So let me put Q in there with the Pirates, and I'm gonna say right now I'm going with Q. I like the Pirates in the Central. Shit. June, who you got?
Cubs.
Junior is the Cubs. I'm the Pirates.
I wanted to go Cincinnati, but I went Cubs.
Who's Bill Perkins got in the Central?
Reds.
The Reds. Oh,
I
pick
like
your
Bill
team,
Perkins.
bro. And the Yankee legs. What do you got in the? What do you got in the Central? While we wait on Yankee legs, I see that Q has got the Dodgers out west. So he's got the Dodgers out west there. We need more. There we go.
Pirates for Yankee leg.
Mike's got the Pirates. All right. See, what are the shows? Is Dan Patrick doing this with you?
No.
Where he's letting the audience come in on the picks?
Nope.
Because Dan Patrick doesn't give a shit about the audience. He just wants to tell you how he's in the next Adam Sandler movie. That's all he cares about.
Not here.
Not here. I don't need to go to the next Adam Sandler movie. I've already been in a movie. We've talked about that multiple times, though, right? Okay. Dodgers for Q. Where are we? We're in the West. We're in the West. What do we got in the West, guys? Perkins got the Dodgers. So we don't have to even ask for that. Who you got in the West? June.
Giant. No, I'm just kidding. Dodgers.
All right. You want a shocker in the West?
Dodgers.
San Diego Padres, baby.
No way. I'm confused.
I heard through a good source that Ohtani's been betting through a guy, and he picked the Padres, so I got to go with Ohtani.
Thanks.
Nelson's got the Dodgers. Wild card teams in the National League.
Q has Padres, Braves, and Mets.
Q's got the Padres, Braves, and Mets. Yankee legs, get your wild card teams ready. Who's Perkins got in the wild card?
Braves, Phillies, D-backs.
Braves, Phils, and the D-backs.
I'll take Phillies, D-backs, and Mets.
Phils, D-backs, and the Mets. I'm taking the Braves, the D-backs, and the Dodgers. I'm picking the Mets to come in last place in the National League East.
So
behind the Marlins.
So San Diego's really going to win 110 games this year?
No, the Dodgers are going to come back to the pack. And Mike got the Phillies, Braves, and Reds.
And who do you have? Dodgers,
Braves, and Reds. I got it all written down here, Steven.
Okay.
All right, World Series. Who's going to the World Series from the National League? I got the Phillies going.
Bill's got Dodgers. So
yep, Bill's got the Dodgers.
I got the Dodgers.
You got the Dodgers. Junior's got the Dodgers. Who else we got? Q's got the Phillies going
over the Mets.
Emotional hometown.
Phillies. So we're just missing Yankee legs.
Yeah. And Joe Q is wondering, was Ohtani's bookie named Mookie? LOL.
No, Mookie's in bad shape, man. Mookie lost like 20 pounds. He says his body is eating itself. He can't eat any solid food.
That sucks.
All right, and now here we go. World Series winners. You want me to kick this off? Well, let's go. Bill Perkins. He's got the Dodgers, of course, right?
Yeah, he has Dodgers winning it.
All right. And Joe Q, of course, is going to pick the Phillies, right, Q? Yeah. Q's got the Phils. June, who you got?
Dodgers.
You got the Dodgers, huh? June, who do you have in the World Series? You got the Dodgers and who?
Red Sox.
Oh, Red Sox. All right, there we go. I'm taking the Phillies to get it done this year because they're running out of time. And Yankee legs?
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Yankee legs is smart.
All right, so we got to come up with a prize for. I'll come up with a good prize, and I'll announce it. I'll announce it next week.
All right.
All right. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow. Nah, he's not gonna know. Maybe
Do we want to have a tiebreaker just in case?
No tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. If you tie, you lose.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Here's what I was thinking. Tiebreaker was: who's going to have more fans, the A's or the Rays in their minor league park?
Reminder: who is the only person to pick the Eagles before this? But Joe, you're just a homer. You're picking the Union too.
Emotion. That's
Joe,
why I said it.
Joe, are you picking the Union this Sunday against Inter Miami? It's going to be a good game. Flick is going to streak during the game too. We already worked it out.
Please do that, Nick.
Yeah. Do shows get any better than this one tonight?
No, tonight was great.
And
yeah.
And here's what Joe Q says: he is going to go with that Philly team just to piss you off.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I get it. He's a Philly guy, so he's rooting for the Phillies teams. We should do NBA. See if Joe picks the Sixers to win the title.
Good question.
All right.
Let's see what he says about that.
Here's your NBA picks for the rest of the season. OKC. Just bet them. Bet the mortgage payment on them. Bet the college fund on them.
Playing the Sixers.
And anybody playing the Sixers, pretty much. Yeah. Look, we got to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. It was big. And look, it's getting bigger the longer we go. Yeah. Right now, the live on X is bigger than at any point. I had enough for tonight. I got to rest up.
Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow night with Nick the Flick with Bucky.
Where's it at?
Bucky Dent tomorrow night. All right. We got Luch on ice. We got who the hell else do we have? I can't.
You might not have no viewers since Junior ain't gonna be around.
We ain't got Junior, so that's all the more reason. We got Uncle Rico.
Oh.
We got Troy West again tomorrow night. We got Tom Corrin tomorrow night.
Uncle Rico's a must watch.
A, thank everybody that tuned in tonight. B, thank Chris Visser for setting this up for us. Okay. C, thank you to Evan Longoria. Longo, yeah. And the time that we had together was fantastic. And he said he will be back. He already reached out when he lost connections. Said he'd be back. And he was great. And all of these guys we could keep for hours at a time. Conine, Mr. Met, absolutely fabulous.
Marlin.
I mean, Mr. Marlin, yeah. No, Mr. Met is a goof. Mr. Marlin. I'm going to do my best to commit. If Yankee is flying down here for that, does Yankee Lake still have the Osama bin Laden whole thing going on?
No, check it out. It looks even better now than it did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm going to be put on the no-fly list if I'm seen with him over there at the game.
Yankee Lake's looking handsome right now.
We got to thank MJ also.
MJ was great.
Ballinger, right? Am I saying it right now?
Yeah, because it's not. You said Jur first.
Yeah, Ballinger. All right, so Ballinger, and you got to go check out the FAU baseball team if you're in town and you're local because they're absolutely fantastic. All right.
Softball as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, softball is fantastic. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Joe, for the picks. Thanks there were so many questions that people wanted to know. Great clubhouse stories, best player you ever played with. You never got to ask half the questions that we had on, your favorite cap and all that sort of stuff, but we'll get there. Next week, Monday night, Jose Canseco, our buddy Dave Gingona. Next Wednesday night, literally like the FAU hockey team with the trophy, I believe will be in studio with us.
I think I'm more excited
for Luch on ice. Yeah, that's gonna. I don't know how we're gonna cover this place in plastic. And
national champs.
Yeah, the national champs. Woo! The national champs are gonna be
instead of the White House.
They
come to the Bleacher Brother house.
That's it. And there's so much more. I can't put out because things are not officially locked in yet for Tuesday and Wednesday. But what we have planned for them. What me and Visser are working on is huge. We're not just going to have them in and praise them.
Yeah.
we're trying to do something really, really crazy cool for them, which the audience will love also.
And I love it.
Still, the numbers are still going up
You
right
never
now.
know what you're going to get with us.
You don't know what you're going to get with us. And most nights it's going to suck, but a night like tonight,
hey, it makes it all worth it.
yeah, it was good. It was good. And like you're George Costanza, now you're out. You're like, it can't get any better than this. You're going to go out on a high. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And look, Nick is going to be here. Nick hasn't been here in forever.
Yes.
So Nick's going to be all wound up and ready to rock and roll. So
I'll try to chime in. I should be on a layover then.
yeah. Junior may come in remotely. I mean, we got a lot of stuff tomorrow night. So anyway, everybody have a fantastic night. Don't drink and drive. And it'll be 10 p.m. soon. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah.